Something that I did yesterday. I went to the Brandy and Monica concert. Today is Friday. So Thursday night, Brandy and Monica, the Boy Is Mine tour, hit Atlanta again for their second time, State Farm Arena. And it was packed. It was very packed. It was jam-packed. The lines to get in were long, but it didn't take a whole lot of time to get through the lines, but the lines were very long. And I was late, right? We got there late. It was like the show started, the doors opened at 7. The concert started at 8. We got there like 8:45, right? So there was 2 acts that opened up before Kelly Rowland and before, Brandy and Monica came out. But they were like nobody knew who was opening up, right? So I forget the one guy's name. His name was like Jamal something. And then it was Keisha Cole. And if you know me, I've been a huge Keisha Cole fan since I was a youngster, right? When I was about 15, 16 or whatever, I thought that, Keisha Cole would have been my lady, right? Not that, I didn't have just like a boyish crush back in them days. I really thought that when I got older and grown, I was going to go find her and she was really going to be my lady. You see what I'm saying? Because I thought I can get at her. So really, it really pained me when she went and married my mans that played for Booby, when she went and married him and didn't wait for me, because that was really crazy of her. How could she do something like that, right? In my young mind, this is what I'm thinking. But anyway, I didn't hold it against her. She was performing as we are walking in to get to our seats. Sent from Heaven was playing like soon as we got in there. By the time we get to our section, or the section we thought was our section, by the time we get there, she had finished, like Love was over. And she was saying, thank you, I appreciate Atlanta, good night. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, of all people for me to miss because I came too late, Keisha Cole was like the last one that I ever wanted to miss, right? I went to a Maxwell concert some years ago. We went to a Maxwell concert 2017 or 18, I think it was 17. And you got a little late and we missed Marsha Ambrosius. And I was like, dang, I wish I would have seen her, but it wasn't, I'm not a stan. I'm not the biggest fan of her. But Keisha Cole, I was supposed to be there for that. So I'm going to make sure I don't go to any more concerts late, especially in Atlanta where they bring out great special guests, because a lot of people live here. And Keisha Cole been living here for a long time. So missed her, but got to the seat, and Kelly Rowland starts performing like very shortly after we get in there, right? So Kelly, amazing performer. This is the thing about, this is my first, I've been to concerts before, even arena stuff, but I've never actually been to a show for an R&B act from my formative years, I guess, from teen years, from like 10 to 18. People who were big during that time. This is my first time seeing them. I've seen older acts, right? Like I said, Maxwell, I've seen Keith Sweat, I've seen Babyface, maybe a few others. And then I've seen people that came after that time, but I haven't seen people from that time period, early 2000s R&B. I've never been to a show. So I didn't realize how big of a thing that they making. I don't know if this is just a trend right now or if this is how it's always been. But Kelly Rowland performed. This is how I viewed the production. It felt to me like I was watching like an award show performance. It looked like it was made for TV, or I don't know if they're shooting a documentary or plan on making a movie and releasing it or something like that. But the thing was highly, highly, highly produced. There was the broadcast camera they were using to film and to show us on the Jumbotron what was going on stage. This is like, we're talking about $100,000 camera or more, right? And then they had people up towards the stage, camera people, getting the best angles from the ground up to the stage, and also walking on the stage to walk through the dancers and get good video. It looked really like an award show. And I've never been to a concert where the performance looked like what you would see if you were watching it on TV. And it wasn't, I'm not just saying Kelly, I'm saying Kelly, Monica, and Brandy. All 3 of their performances look like that. So maybe that's going to be in a documentary or something. I'm not sure. But it looked great. Kelly went for like 45 minutes. And I don't know if y'all seen the Joe Budden podcast where he went on like a little speech about how good Kelly Rowland looks and how she's really that girl and all this type of stuff. I see why after seeing that show, he felt like that. I don't think it had anything to do with the music because we already know Kelly got hits, right? Kelly got hits on her own, and then she has the stuff with Destiny's Child. Hits on hits on hits, right? I think everybody knows and remembers that. The thing about Kelly, though, with her looks, of course, you think like, all right, yeah, Kelly looked good. But it's not just that she looks good. Kelly looks the same as back then. A lot of people look good for their age, right? Brandy and Monica, they look good for their age. And they look good, period, right? But they don't look like they looked in 2003. Kelly looks the same, but she just has different clothes on. Like the fashion is upgraded. Maybe the makeup is upgraded. But herself, even her body, her frame, and her face looks exactly the same from when I was a kid to when I was 13 years old, 14, 15. That's the big difference. That's you don't realize it until you see her in person. Like, oh, she really looked like the same as she did back then. So it kind of can be like a mind trip when you're seeing her. Like, it's nostalgic because it brings you backwards to 2003 when Dilemma first came out, or when Cater to You first came out, or when Girl, Destiny Fulfilled, all of this stuff was coming out. It could take you back there because this lady looks the same. Beyonce looks very good, but she don't look how she looked in 2003. And that's not a bad thing because some might say she looks better now. But she looks different, though. Kelly does not look different. She looks like the same person. So I think that's what was throwing Joe, like making him so enamored with her. Kelly killed it. So then Kelly goes about 30 to 45 minutes. Now we're around like 9:45 maybe ish, somewhere around there, close to 10 o'clock. And this is when Brandy and Monica come out. So when they come out together. It's highly produced, right? They come up from the floor and all that. And it's just a great performance. They start out and it went the whole way. I'm normally not like a fan of the back and forth thing. Like me, when I like a headliner, I want the headliner to just go last, right? They had a format that they came up with, which is pretty much they came out together, right? They performed this intro type of sequence. A bunch of dancers on stage, they were dressed similarly to each other. And they rocked it, right? And then what they started doing is they were using videos to kind of illustrate what was their history between each other and their history in the industry. So, from little kids, how they got into singing, things like that. They were doing that while they were changing outfits and stuff, using videos. I think they did a good job with those videos. And then, so Brandy would come out, do 3 songs. Then Monica would come out, do about 3 songs. Brandy would come do 2, Monica do 2, Brandy do 1, Monica do 1. And they just kept doing this back and forth in that way. And then the songs they were performing, it was almost like Brandy doing her upbeat stuff. She'll do 3 upbeat songs. Then Monica will come back and do 3 of her upbeat songs. Then Brandy will do 2 of her where she was breakup songs. And then Monica come do 2 of her breakup songs. And it was just going back and forth like that. And you realize just how many parallels they have with each other in this industry. Maybe one person put a hit out and then the other person's producer said, yo, we need one of those ones like she had. Maybe they were doing that. Maybe they were like silently competing behind the scenes, and maybe the producers were causing it. Maybe the labels were doing it. Who knows? But they have a lot of songs with similar content around the same years too. But it was great. It made for a great show. I guess the universe was setting them up all these years to be able to put together a show like this. As successful as this tour was, this is the type of tour that they can retire off of. You see what I'm saying? I don't think we'll ever get this Brandy and Monica tour again, so it's a good thing to be able to see it. But they really don't have a reason to do it again. You know what I'm saying? They did it. They did it great. People came out, showed up, showed out, and it was amazing. I don't think I have any critiques. They were both singing the whole time. Singing and dancing. I didn't even realize they danced. Singing and dancing the whole time. They had both had male dancers. I know Monica had background singers. I'm trying to remember if Brandy did. Brandy probably had background singers, but I don't remember them. I remember Monica's. Kelly had some good background singers too with her. Dang, I'm trying to remember I'm gonna have to look at my video to see if Brandy had background singers, but I don't remember her having any. But they both had dancers, and the dancers really, shine bright because they had the same dancers. Brandy and Monica used the same dancers. So when they were switching back and forth, song to song, switching outfits and all this type of stuff, those same dancers had to keep coming back on stage for the next person. Like it, so at least like Brandy would do 3 songs that she got to relax or, change clothes and chill while Monica did her 3 songs and her speeches and all this type of stuff. Those dancers had to get right back on stage as soon as they changed clothes. That was another cool thing. They had some great dancers. The guests that came out. So Kelly Rowland during her set brought out The Dream. And he did his Lil Wayne diss song, Is That Your Girl? Great song. He performed it great. He sung also. He didn't just lip sync or nothing like that. He actually sung his song. So then I guess that Monica pretty much brought all the guests between the Brandy and Monica portion of the performance. Monica brings out, she brought the Young Bloods out. That was a shock to a lot of people. She brought out Young Jock. Did she bring somebody else out? Young Bloods, Young Jock. I'm trying to think who that might have been it. I can't. I think it was. I hope it wasn't anybody else. I have it on video. I figured out. But the guests were great. I love the guests. So Dream, Young Bloods, Young Jock, great guests. Right. Then another part that they did that I thought was good. They did a Whitney Houston tribute. I Want to Dance with Somebody. They performed that. Very good tribute. Brandy sung it. Monica sung. They sung it together pretty much. But Brandy did most of the singing on the Whitney tribute. They bodied that. They were dressed alike when they had the all white on. Completely bodied that one. I don't have anything negative to say about the show, man. I don't like a lot of loud noise. I'll say that. So it is weird for me to go to a concert when I don't really like loud noise like that. Or prolonged loud noise, it messes with me a little bit. So that threw me off, but it wasn't anything that was specific to their concert. Every concert is like that. And I have the same issue with every concert. So that's not a knock on them. That's a me thing. I will say, I went to Jay-Z's concert I already said it, but I went to Jay-Z's concert at the State Farm Arena. It was Phillips then, I think. It definitely was not like jam-packed that way. And it was sold out, but it wasn't packed like that. It was not. Do I have any other notes on that? I think. Oh, they also had a good DJ. Most of the time I go to shows though, the DJs between performers are normally good. But they definitely had it rocking in there. But one part, the DJ was kind of playing songs, but he would like play 5 seconds of the song and turn it off. I didn't understand that because the crowd was really going crazy. But yeah, they did good. They did great, man. There was definitely a star-studded event. There were people in the crowd. I'm trying to think. I think the Brat was not too far in front of us. The Brat and her wife, Kelly's husband, was there, like not far from us. Who else? Scrappy and his wife. Ray J was there, of course. Kelly Rowland said that her dad was there, and that was his first time seeing her perform live, which is crazy because she'd been around since like 96, 95, and they was performing before they got famous. So the fact that he'd never seen her perform is kind of wild. Your daughter's part of the biggest girl group in history, and y'all don't see them perform is a little odd to me. But he was in Atlanta. I didn't even know Kelly was from Atlanta originally. So she said that while she was performing, like, yo, I'm back home or whatever. I didn't know she was from here. But yeah, so her dad was there. That was a big. Pastor Troy was there. Who else was there? Reginae was there. Lily from SWV. There was a few people there. Actually, I said few. There was a lot of people there. A lot of like celebs and stuff. And it was packed. Great show, man. Great show. If y'all get a chance, I think they only have a few shows left. So if y'all see this and they're coming to your city or around you, you might want to go check it out because I don't think they'll ever do it again. They should be making enough money. Let me see if I can look up how much they're grossing on this tour. See if I can find it real quick. All right, man. I spoke out of turn because this is saying that this total gross is over 9.4 million. They sold 78,000 tickets. So it's a 24 city. So 24 cities and 9.4 million. So I guess the tickets are not like these younger rappers tickets because I feel like Kendrick did about 20 cities also, but it was a stadium. 20 cities on the first leg of his tour, and it came with like 150 million. So let me not speak out of turn. So they about 300,000 a night. Still amazing money, but they won't retire off of it. Of course, I was wrong about that. Either way, all good still. Shout out to them. I shouldn't have been counting their pockets anyway, but I do like to track how much these tours and things are making.